our memory network, which is pretty self-explanatory, how well we remember things and how we recall those things. It is optimizing our attention network, how we can pay attention to any task at a point in time. It is optimizing our information flow network, which is how our mind shares information freely and uses the right parts of our brain for maximum efficiency. And finally, it's optimizing our mood network. Okay. When these networks all get jumbled or stop working properly, we see challenges like ADHD, ADD. We see challenges like cognitive decline. So what is cognitive decline? Brain fog, forgetfulness, onset of dementia, onset of Alzheimer's. These are all cognitive decline challenges. Okay. But because these networks are so complex, this patch is very complex and it's doing a lot of different things. We have a study going on right now that's looking at the impact of this product on ADHD, but we have the research that shows that this pattern absolutely optimizes those cognitive networks. So we can talk about those cognitive networks. We can talk about cognitive decline. And we know from our thousands of testimonials what it's doing for people with ADHD and different challenges. So that's what the flow patch does, ladies and gentlemen. That's where you recommend it. Well, what do I use it for? Is somebody having cognitive challenges, right? Is somebody having symptoms of ADHD? Is somebody having symptoms of forgetfulness or brain fog or memory loss? This is who it's for. Is somebody showing real challenges in their cognition, the ability to think, speak, those types of things? This is the product for them. Okay, and they can wear it anywhere in their body, and it takes about 20 minutes to kick in, sometimes a little bit sooner, but 20, 25 minutes for sure, and they see that clarity coming in their minds. Okay, that's what this patch is for. Okay, now people ask, Jay, what's the difference between this patch and the focus patch? Really good question. I can understand some people being confused, but focus is solely dedicated to working on the attention network, because people can have no other challenges. They don't have any problems with memory. They don't have any problems with critical thinking. They don't have any problems with mood. None of those issues. They're sharp, very clear minds. Everything is great, but they're having a hard time focusing for any extended period of time. The attention network is the only one that's not a challenge. This is ideal for people that have to do detailed work, scholarly work, research, homework, study, music lessons, piano lessons, you name it. This is focused specifically on the attention network in their mind. And it gives the user, whether it's an athlete, a musician, a student, a lawyer, a coder, whoever it is, laser focus to stay on point, to stay on that task and apply and normalize and optimize that attention network. That's what the focus patch does. And it's right here on your website and you can see it here. So I hope that gives you a big delineation between what that is, right? Between why the flow patch and why the focus patch, right? Because somebody might not have all those other cognitive issues. The only thing is focus, right? They don't have any mood issues. They don't have any cognitive ability issues. They're sharp, they're smart, everything's great, just can't focus. And a lot of the challenges in today's young people with focus, ladies and gentlemen, is because of these wonderful things, our cell phones and the apps on it and the algorithms that have them going from one app to another app, to another app, to another message, to another like, to another text, to another message, to another video. And they're just bouncing between different things. And it's actually completely eroding their ability to focus. And their focus networks are completely shot. And our patch brings it all back online for them. And they can sit there and they can do their homework and they can finish their assignments and they can study for their tests. They can write their exams and they can finish their music lesson. Whatever their endeavor is, the focus is key. So that's what this does. So let me get to sleep. Now let me finish off. Let me finish off with stress. Okay. Again, stress network. Completely about managing those times in our lives when emotionally we're at our limit. The mood network, anxiety network, managing those times in our lives when emotionally, we're at our limit. The mood network, anxiety network, and it helps regulate that response, our physiological response, our cortisol response to stress, and putting our mind and then our body at rest, right? Because you can have all the best focus in the world, right? Sometimes I'm thinking clearly, I can focus, my memory's great, I have no cognitive issues, but am I ever stressed? And where's the stress coming from? It could be relationship stress, could be job stress, could be finance stress, could be anything, could be an exam stress, could be a lot of different things. And that stress gets manifested in our body and everything goes out of whack. We all know that, right? And this is a breakthrough in helping people deal with stress. I don't know if you guys know, but workplace burnout is an epidemic here and globally, right? People are just, and the bloody pandemic and the lockdowns and the isolation didn't help overall health of our citizenship and overall health of the people in our lives and actually in our countries in the world because of that added stress, right? And this is a big calming technology that just brings everything down to calm so you can deal with it. And that's the beauty of this technology. So it's got nothing to do with focus. If you're less stressed, obviously your focus is going to be better, but this is completely centered on managing our stress and anxiety levels and bringing that calmness to us. Why? There are neural networks in our brain that control stress, that control our mood, that control our anxiety. And the signals we're sending is bringing that part of our neurology back to normal, calming it down, and that's manifesting in our body. Okay, that's what you can recommend the stress patch for. Let's go to sleep now. Okay, so who doesn't want better sleep? Sleep is the cornerstone of health and wellness. We know this. If you're not sleeping well, you're probably not functioning well. But when we're recommending the sleep patch, ladies and gentlemen, you need to hear me on this. When we're recommending the sleep patch, we have to ask some questions. Okay, what the sleep patch does is helps regulate our sleep patterns and sleep cycles. But somebody's lack of sleep, there's a million reasons why they're having poor sleep. So for example, if somebody is just, and how long have those challenges been there, it's going to be indicative of how long it's going to take to get it back on track. Okay. But if somebody is not sleeping because they have a massive amount of other stress in their life, like psychological stress, emotional stress, the REM patch is going to take longer for them to get benefit out of it. Just saying what it is. Okay. Because it's not just their sleep patterns, there's other contributing factors to why they're not sleeping because they're just ruminating in their head. So what you do, and what I would recommend in that situation is if they're saying, listen, hey, why aren't you sleeping? Is it stress? Are you dealing with something? I ask the next question. If it's stress related, also recommend the peace patch. Okay. If it's pain related, like if somebody has a really hard job and they're coming home dead tired and their legs hurt and their back hurts and their neck hurts, I can tell you why they're not sleeping. It's because they're in pain. It's disrupting their sleep quality. And in those situations, I would also recommend the pain patch. Okay. So you have to ask those questions. You have to ask those questions. Right? Because you don't want to get back customers say, well, it didn't really help me. If somebody says, you know what, I don't know why, I just haven't been sleeping well, tell them to recommend the sleep patch by itself. And it's going to work. It's going to work for them. Right? Because this product doesn't have any chemicals in it. It doesn't have any supplements in it. It doesn't have any ingredients in it. We're not actually going to compromise anything in their sleep. Okay. People say, well, what about melatonin? Melatonin is a hormone. And right now there's so many people popping it, but they're waking up groggy, right? They want to wake up groggy. With the REM patch, you can take it off. Guess what? The REM patch is gone. You're back. You're not, you know, all of the things that it's doing isn't doing anymore. And this is not habit forming. There's no habit forming to our technologies because we're not adding anything to our system. Remember this, we're actually not adding anything to anybody's system. The neural codes that control these different physiological functions already are in us. We're not adding anything to them. We're helping correct them so they're operating better. Right? So that's why this is so important in that regard. So we've talked about that. And then finally, let's talk about this one. Our night patch. do nothing, burn more. So there's some fun stuff coming on this. So what we've hacked is the metabolic response in our body, metabolic control in our body that our brain controls. Our brain controls our resting metabolic rate, which is how many calories we burn at rest, sleep, work, or even sitting at our desk. Right now, I'm not working out, I'm not running, I'm not walking. I have a resting metabolic rate. And if we can improve our resting metabolic rate, that means we're burning more calories throughout the day. Over 24 hours, we're going to burn up to 25% more calories. Okay, so what does that mean? That means we optimize how we're consuming the calories in our body. We're optimizing how much energy we're using. So people are telling us, listen, you know, I'm not getting my cravings anymore. The reason you're not getting your cravings anymore is because your body now is optimizing the reserves of calories it already has. It doesn't need more intake to function. It's already got those calories and it's optimizing that burn. So you feel energetic. You don't feel like you need any more energy. It's already there inside you. Okay. So we're going to do a fun thing. We're going to start. So 1 day a week, Mondays, for the next couple of months here at corporate, we're going to set up a calendar, and 4 people on Monday will be able to come in and get the RMR testing. It's going to be part of our larger study that we're doing. But I want to put 20, 30 people through the office. We've got a kinesiologist going to come in and work with our team to give individuals their RMR before and after, which I think will be a lot of fun. And you'll be able to share that if you want to. It's up to you. You can black out your name, whatever that is. But that's what we recommend. We recommend people to listen. You know, what are you doing to manage your calories? What's part of your wellness routine? Are you working out? Are you exercising? Are you doing different things? Hey, what if I could show you a way where you could burn more calories while you're resting, sleeping, working, sitting? Yeah, you're going to burn and you're going to burn even more calories when you're working out or running or whatever you're doing. That's just an extra added bonus. But if we could improve their caloric burn without doing anything, this is why I like tagline, do nothing, burn more. Just by putting the patch on, they're going to burn more calories, which is going to lead to a healthier lifestyle. It's going to lead to ultimately them being able to take more control of where they're getting their energy sources and how they're spending that energy, right? And in time, we'll have some other data that'll show, hey, what does it actually mean in terms of controlling their mass, their weight, and all those different types of things, right? But right now, what we can say is caloric burn. That's what we can talk about, okay? So let me stop sharing that. So those are the big things that if we're all aware of this, right? This is how we use this, right? This is how we recommend our products. And our products are completely safe, meaning that we're not adding anything to anyone's body that can compromise their nutrition, their medication, if they're on some therapies, whatever that is. These are all additive. These are all supportive technologies, because ultimately they're not contradicting with anything that I'm doing, right? It's absolutely really super tech that's in these products, right? And our job is to understand what the product does. Our job is to recommend the right product after we speak to that person in terms of what are they looking for out of their health and their wellness, right? But our first product that we talked about, our Liberty Patch, how do I say this that we'll all understand? We all have phones, right? And every once in a while we get an iOS. If we got an Apple phone, we get an iOS update. We get an update on the software. We understand that, right? So what the Liberty Patch is, that iOS update. It updates everything in our neurology. Everything improves. So when we update our iOS software on our phone, the phone hardware, everything starts operating better. They fix some of the glitches, some of the hardware starts working, we get some new features, we get some new benefits, all those things improve. Okay. Okay. That's what this is. This levels up everything. All of the other patches are like apps on our phone. They will work whether we update the iOS